Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for joining me on this trip. This trip was a complete last minute decision, and this grocery store I just stopped at had almost nothing in it. They're in Kittitas, so I didn't really pick up too many supplies. But here we are, and I'm still excited nonetheless. I love this area. I used to come up here in the Naneum Forest, even back before it was a state forest. There used to be an old cabin up here that the old timers built. It was a partial cabin, and they had 2 outhouses set up, and they also had like a steam room that you could shower in during the winter. But back in 2011, the land ownership changed, and when it became a state forest, they decided they needed to clear that out. No permanent structures were allowed, even though that structure had been there since the 60s. So in this video, we're not going to be doing a lot of off-roading. Instead, I'm probably going to be hiking around and looking for sheds. I found one elk shed a couple months ago. You might have seen it on my Instagram. So I'm going to be looking around for those. Alright, I'm sure you're tired of me talking. Let's get into it. Oh man, had to stop for a minute because I was hearing a really loud rattling sound. Turns out there was a rock on top of my skid plate underneath, and it was just shaking around on top of the skid plate every time I hit a bump. It was a little bit of stress, but it was nothing. Alright, I've made it to where I was going to go. I'm parked at pretty much the end of the road. They kind of changed. They actually moved back where the road ends from even the last time I was here, never mind 2011. So, parked up, just grabbed my hiking stuff, changed pants real quick, socks, shoes. I wasn't going to be going outdoors today, so I put on some stuff that was not really adequate for hiking around out here in the mountains. With that said, the first objective is getting to the old camp. I think I'll walk the road for a little bit and see if I can find the old landmark. I bet it's still there, even after all these years. Little chipmunk was sitting on the log right there, and I thought, or sitting on the stump, and I thought, well, maybe I can get a picture of him. So I took one, and I thought, oh, I should record. And then he kept letting me get closer. So here's a couple pictures of that. Not what I was looking for. Still kind of neat anyway. Well, here it is. Still a couple remnants of the camp left. All the guys that built this cabin fished together up in Alaska for crab. They'd come up here and hunt for elk every year. It wasn't really much of a cabin. It was probably 50 feet long, and no, it was probably 60 feet long and maybe 45 feet wide. It was just a couple of these big logs laid on top of each other, so it'd be one, then another one right on top of it. Had a couple poles in the middle with the center pole going across the top like an A-frame. And they had poles, or more logs, going from the 2 base logs up to that center pole. So it was just an A-frame. And when we'd get up here, we'd put tarps all over it, make a patchwork, and that would actually be the shelter itself. The wall in the north was actually a permanent wall of plywood with a door on it. In the center, there was a big 55-gallon drum stove that they built. And every year that we'd get here, we'd plumb a chimney up. And that little tree right there, it's only about 45 feet tall. We had another long log that we would lay on the ground. Get up here, we'd put a TV antenna on it, old school style, run the cable into the cabin, and then we'd hoist the pole up, and I'd climb up the tree and lash the tree and the pole together with some rope, and that antenna would stay up there while we were up here. We'd get TV in the evening, if we weren't sitting out by the fire, obviously, which that's mostly what we did, as long as the weather was good or wasn't too dang cold. I'm sad to see it's all gone, but I'm glad the land is protected. Well, all right, we're gonna head down due west and drop into that draw and see if we can find that old tree stand before the sun sets. Oh yeah, I found it. Awesome. Look at that tree stand over there. That thing's been there longer than I've been alive, I'm pretty sure. Looks over this little clearing behind me, right in this draw next to the stream. Oh yeah, it's freaking falling apart. Let's see if I can get you a better view. Should I climb up there? Probably not. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's dumb, but here I am. There's a bunch of names carved in this tree. Okay, well, anyway, I'm not going to stand on any of that wood, but I'm going to climb down. Well, there you have it. The old tree stand. I'm kind of torn. I kind of want to stay up here tonight, camp where I'm at. However, I know of another camp spot that's real close to here, and I kind of want to go there also because I haven't been over there in just as long as I haven't been over here. Oh, that looks delicious. Well, this spot's amazing and it's extremely nostalgic for me. I think I'm going to lighten the mood and we're going to go to the other campsite. Also, it's really wet right here and there's a lot of mosquitoes. So, let's move on, shall we? Not really super effective, but just holding my binoculars here up to the GoPro lens for that little zoom action. There's a bunch of elk over there on that finger. And that's pretty cool to see. Alright, you guys, this is my other spot that I really like to come to. Haven't been here in a long time. It's not as remote as the previous spot. The other spot is at the end of a very long road out to nowhere. This one's alongside a more mainstream road here through the park. However, I usually don't see people along this road, or if they come through, they usually just keep going and wave. Anyway, I'm gonna get camp set up and have some dinner. I was at the grocery store down there in town. Like I said, it was very sparse. They didn't have veggies or meat or really anything. It's not much for a grocery store. But I know Jason from Primal Outdoors always eats this Dinty Moore. So I thought, you know what, I'll do that. So here I am, I'm gonna have some Dinty Moore, sit by the fire. But this is probably how I'm gonna spend the rest of my night. So I'll see you guys in the morning. I am parked on top of the finger that I saw the elk on last night. I've seen them out here before in previous years, and I see there's a lot of track here. I don't think I'll really find any sheds out here in the open, but if they frequent the area, maybe. So I thought I'd just take a walk, park at the top, walk down a little ways, and glass around to see if I see anything. And then if not, I'll come back up, and maybe I'll either go into the draw on my way back up, or I'll go up there into that thicker part of the forest and see if I find anything. My nose has been running like crazy this morning. I've been sneezing a lot. I'm allergic to grass, and there's a lot of grass out right now in the spring. So the grass pollen is really killing me. Didn't bring any Zyrtec with me either. The other thing I wish I had with me, which I haven't bought one yet, is the new holster. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I recently had some work done to my Glock by Rainier Arms. I had them cut the slide on my Gen 4 so I could put an Trijicon RMR on there. And I decided while I was doing upgrades, I would quit carrying my Streamlight TLR3 because it's kind of old tech by now. It's not as bright as the newer lights and things like that. I bought that light when it was the new hotness. But the TLR7 is much smaller and much brighter. So I decided to go with the 7, but because of the changes I made, my old holsters won't work with the current configuration. So I bought a new holster for concealed carry from Bravo Company USA. But normally I'd like to open carry while I'm out here doing this, just for mobility's sake and just for comfort, especially while I'm hiking up and down these hills. But while that mobility and comfort is nice to have, I don't usually open carry in town or anything like that. I don't like to advertise. But if you've seen my previous videos, when I'm out here by myself, I usually just open carry. It's a lot more comfortable. Anyway, gonna go down to that tree line just before this finger falls off the cliff down there. I'll look around those trees and then I'll come back up. To my east, there's a herd of elk bedded down. I can count 11 of them right now. It's pretty cool to see. I had to take the GoPro off the tripod real quick, so I put the camera on there. Okay. Obviously made it back to the truck. Just moved to a new spot. So we were on the other side of that draw over there. And just came on this side of it just to park. Now I'm going to follow that draw up a little bit, kind of stay next to the stream and see what I can find. I saw a game trail just on the other side, this tree line. So it's a good sign in the area. Seen lots of elk. The only thing left to do is find something. The hard part about looking through these areas for a thing that looks like a stick is that everything on the ground looks like a stick. Look at that, I found the fence for the game reserve. But I'll push west for a little bit, and I'll go back south towards the truck. And then I might call it for the day. There's a couple cow elk right there. Let's see if I can get my binos on you. There's one right there. Stand by that tree. There she goes. I almost walked over that tree line too. But I decided to stay on this side of the clearing because the truck's on this side. Still no sheds. Alright you guys, thanks for coming along. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I definitely enjoyed getting out here and making it. Of course, making the video is not the fun part, seeing all the elk is. And spending time in nature, my most favorite thing. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, do all those nice things. See you in the next one.